The low-frequency hum that had settled over Unity was more than just a sound. It was a presence. It vibrated in the air, in the ground, and deep within the bones of the Seeker crew. It was the vibration, and it was only growing stronger. "I don't like this," Captain Reyes muttered, her hand never far from her sidearm. Her usually unflappable demeanor was showing cracks under the strain of the unsettling phenomenon. Even the normally stoic Dr. Tanaka seemed affected, his meticulous observations tinged with a growing unease. Axel, however, felt a strange sense of familiarity. The vibration, though unsettling, resonated with something deep within him, a faint echo of the spatial anomaly that had destroyed the Prometheus. He closed his eyes, trying to focus, to understand. It was like trying to grasp a wisp of smoke always just beyond his reach. "It's stronger here than it was on the shuttle," he said, his voice low. "The research facility. I think it's amplifying it somehow, or maybe it's the source." Over the last couple weeks, the crew had worked overtime to repair and upgrade the underground facility, where Axel and his team were now headed to. The hum had been notably stronger today, growing more intense with each step they descended. The air thrummed with an almost palpable energy. Dr. Tanaka, despite his apprehension, was in his element. His scientific curiosity piqued. He moved from console to console, his datapad buzzing with activity as he scanned the environment, analyzed the recovered data, and tried to make sense of the fragmented research. Based on the recovered logs, he reported that the colonists were definitely experimenting on the vibration. His voice was tight, with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. They were trying to isolate its source, measure its effects on the human body. There are notes here about induced hallucinations, altered perceptions of time, even telepathic communication. Axel examined a diagram on an abandoned monitor, a complex representation of the human brain with strange, swirling patterns superimposed over it. The vibration. "They were being changed," he whispered. Then, a horrifying realization dawned on him. The vibration may have been slowly altering us too over the past weeks. He remembered the fragmented logs, the talk of strange dreams, and another reality. Dr. Anya Sharma, the chief scientist of the Starseed expedition, had conflicting theories about the vibration, some more substantiated than others. Her early entries, filled with meticulous scientific observations, detailed how the vibration, at lower intensities, seemed to impair cognitive abilities, causing confusion, memory lapses, and difficulty concentrating. Some colonists even reported physical discomfort, nausea, and headaches. "It's like the vibration is scrambling our brains," she wrote in one entry, "like a radio signal interfering with our biological processes." She was right about the cognitive impairment, Dr. Tanaka said, his gaze fixed on a monitor displaying a summary of Sharma's logs. "We've all experienced it to some degree during the stronger pulses. Short-term memory loss, difficulty focusing, even disorientation." Captain Reyes nodded, her arms crossed. "But her later theories, they're hardly making sense." Axel reread a passage from one of Sharma's more erratic entries. "The vibration isn't just affecting our minds. It's affecting reality itself. It's like the fabric of space-time is modified in certain places, becoming more malleable. I've seen things, impossible things, geometries that shouldn't exist, colors that have no name." He looked up at the others, his own unease growing. In a later passage, she talked about string theory, about the possibility of 10 dimensions, not just the 3 physical dimensions we perceive. She believed the vibration was somehow related to that, a bridge maybe, or a tier. Tanaka, ever the pragmatist, interjected. Her logs were mentioning string theory, particularly in the later entries. She seemed to believe that the vibration was somehow interacting with us. She had pages of equations, half-finished derivations, trying to link the vibration's frequency to the supposed vibrating strings at the heart of reality. He paused, tapping his stylus. "Most of it is beyond my field, but it's not entirely nonsensical. There are hints of a coherent mathematical framework, even if it's incomplete, to say the least. Axel picked up another log, this one filled with increasingly frantic handwriting. She wrote about tests, he said, his voice low. She called it a cosmic intelligence assessment. She started to believe that the vibration was a test, a way to gauge humanity's readiness for something. Evolution, she called it. Or gaining a galactic perspective. Captain Reyes interjected. Some of those ideas are ludicrous. She was getting increasingly suspicious. Her later entries are almost unreadable, Tanaka said, shaking his head. They're filled with fragmented thoughts, philosophical ramblings, and what appears to be an acute descent into paranoia. She talks about being watched, about conspiracies among the colonists who were embracing the vibration. She even mentions a they several times, but with no specific identity. She was clearly losing her grip. Axel traced a line in one of the logs, a quote that had chilled him to the bone. "We are not alone, and we are not what we think we are. The universe is far stranger than we can imagine, and our place in it far less significant." He shivered. Dr. Sharma had clearly experienced a profound existential crisis, brought on by her research. She questioned her own sanity, he murmured, more to himself than the others. She wrote about the limitations of human knowledge, the vastness of the unknown. She was terrified, but also strangely fascinated. She was unraveling, Captain Reyes stated, her voice flat. The isolation, the pressure, the vibration, it broke her. The silence that followed was heavy, broken only by the faint, ever-present hum of the vibration, a constant reminder of the mystery they were facing, and the chilling possibility that Dr. Sharma's descent into madness might have been a glimpse into their own future. They were not just facing an unknown phenomenon, they were facing the limits of their own understanding and the potential for their own minds to unravel in the face of the truly alien. Days turned into sleepless nights as they worked tirelessly in the facility. They learned that the vibration wasn't constant. It pulsed, growing stronger and weaker in a seemingly random pattern. During periods of increased intensity, the crew experienced a range of disturbing effects. Headaches, nausea, and disorientation were common. Some reported vivid, unsettling dreams. Others claimed to hear whispers, voices just out of earshot, speaking in a language they did not understand. Axel, during one particularly strong pulse, felt a jolt, like a surge of electricity through his body. He stumbled, clutching his head, and for a brief moment, he saw it. A fleeting glimpse of another reality, a realm of swirling colors and shifting shapes, a place of pure energy. It was terrifying and beautiful, and it was gone as quickly as it appeared. He found his past traumas resurfacing with greater intensity, making it difficult to function. "Could it be a doorway?" he murmured, staring into the darkness, his voice filled with awe and fear. "The vibration. It's a doorway to somewhere else." Captain Reyes remained skeptical and started wondering about the sanity of the rest of the crew. She was aware she couldn't explain the phenomenon either. In an effort to ground Axel's thoughts, she interjected, with a somewhat sarcastic tone. "A doorway to where, Doctor?" Dr. Tanaka, who had been analyzing soil samples taken from various locations around Unity, offered a chilling hypothesis. "I've found trace amounts of a strange, crystalline substance in the soil," he reported, his voice trembling slightly. "It's not of terrestrial origin, and its molecular structure, it is unlike anything I've ever seen. It seems to be concentrated around areas where the vibration is strongest. My theory is that this substance is a byproduct of the phenomenon." He hypothesized that the colonists, they didn't just disappear, they were transformed, leaving this residue behind. The implications of Tanaka's theory were far-reaching. The colonists hadn't just vanished from the planet. What could possibly have happened to them?